have Peter and Dylan from Blundell, so I'd ask you both to please introduce yourselves.
Sure. I'm Peter Klinkenberg and I'm the Registrar. I've been Registrar for 25 years at Blundell's. And this is Dylan.
Hi, Dylan Smart. I'm the Director of Marketing and Admissions. I've been at the school for about 14 years as a teacher, coach, housemaster, and now moved over to admissions and marketing.
Great, well then I'll just ask you to give us a brief introduction to the school.
Yeah, please, can start with that.
Blundell's is one of the oldest schools in the west of England. It's from 1604. It was one of, in those days, boys-only schools, for a long time in the history. But then they went co-ed and started going co-ed about 40, 50 years ago. We're now fully co-ed. We moved on to our campus, a 90-acre site, which is on the edge of a market town. And I know that the safety aspect and away from a city is something that appeals to a lot of Indian families. It's a semi-rural, they can walk into town, it's a market, it's a safe place, but we're very much a boarding school by ethos, so we have 6 days a week, and we believe very much in the educating the whole person, not just what's between their ears, and a lot of social responsibility and interaction with the local community. But it's obviously work comes first. But I think we're very well known for being a very old historic school, but quite modern under the skin nowadays, with some quite forward-thinking ideas.
Okay, that's great. Would you like to tell me more about the campus, the location, the curriculum you offer?
Okay, so we're about, just in terms of location, we're a couple of hours from London, which is lovely. So we're in this perfect spot that we're lovely and rural. We're on a beautiful site, but at the same time, the train is only a couple of hours from London. We're quite near to the M5 motorway, so again, just if you were to drive from Heathrow, it would only take you between 2 and 3 hours. So we're in this really nice location, which is absolutely great. In terms of our curriculum, we are a GCSE and A-level school, so we don't offer IB, but we very much prepare for both UK university and American universities, and that's one of the really big advantages. We prepare you equally for both. We have some of our recent alumni have gone to, for example, last year, Kabir, he's gone to Dartmouth, so he's just started at Dartmouth now, which is great. Prad went to Brown, so we have some illustrious alumni that have gone off to really good American universities, but likewise every year we'll have 5 or 6 pupils off to Oxbridge, and essentially a wide range of UK universities.
Great. And in terms of, you talked about educating the whole student, so tell me about the extracurricular and co-curricular activities.
Absolutely. So we have a really big co-curricular program. So our sporting program is very strong. We're really well known for our sports, which is great. And we have a whole range of different sports. Depending on your ability, it doesn't really matter. So right up to national and international standard, but also if you just want to keep fit and exercise, there's something for you there as well. And then aside from that, we run an activity program where twice a week pupils will take part in activities, and that could be anything from climbing or kayaking to chess or rocket club. There's a huge range of things, and I think our aim really is to expose pupils to things that maybe they haven't done before, to give them opportunities that they haven't had the opportunity to do before. But also, if there is an area that they're really passionate about, we try to develop that passion as well.
Great. And in terms of other sort of unique features of the school or special things that only sort of Blundell offers, you want to tell me some of those?
I think we still retain a little of our of the long history. We have chapel every morning for 10 minutes. Everybody has to attend chapel. In there, you sit with your friends in your boarding house. And I think it's one of those little pieces of jigsaw that make up being a Blundellian at the end of the day. All the staff go. The chaplain speaks every morning about some moral guidance. They don't have to join prayers if they're not a Christian or anything, but everybody has to be there because it's part of being in a big family. And I think we're just about the right size with about 100 students in each year where they will know everybody and the teachers will know everybody. So I think that's quite important that we keep that. And we sing a hymn at the end, and everybody sings the hymn. I mean, they're very good. But even the older students will say, oh, I really like chapel, because it's actually 10 minutes of peace and quiet. You start your day with a bit of reflection, and you go out in a very calm way. But again, we've got some other historical wacky things, things like the House Russell Run and the House Music competitions. But I suppose one of the other unique things is that where we're very modern is that about 20 years ago, we're one of the few schools in the UK that has an upper six house. So all 100 students come out of their other 5 houses for their last year to prepare. It's a pre-university house. It has a boys' wing and a girls' wing, which always raises a few eyebrows, but they're not allowed upstairs on the wrong side. But the whole of the downstairs is a co-ed environment. There are study centres, there are cinema rooms, there are big kitchens. There are 2 laundries. We even teach the boys to wash their own clothes. We actually have an Indian head chef who goes down, teaches them about cooking for students, how to cook on a budget. So we really prepare them for life beyond Blundell's. It's a lovely bubble to grow up in, but we have a responsibility to prepare them. And I think it's part of what becomes they love the upper six house. It's called Westlake because your whole year group is together. Your friends, you make very close friends. And those Blundellians are famous for their friendships that continue into life. I think the other thing which is quite important for boarders coming from somewhere like India, our boarding houses have 80 children in it from years 9, 10, 11 and 12. There are also day students and flexi boarders who are also, we're a boarding school. We have 6 days a week. Everybody does games on Saturday afternoon. Sunday's the only quieter day with trips out if they want to do it. But the boarding house, it means that the overseas students can make local friends as well and get invited out for a weekend maybe occasionally out of school. And I think those friendships, because sometimes you can make a closer friend who happens to be somebody who lives nearby. So I think we've developed, although we're very old and historic, we've developed some very modern ideas which work really well, and the Indian students we've had have really fitted in well and enjoyed that.
That's great. If you would like to tell me a little bit of just a piece of advice you might have for an applicant or a family that's thinking about boarding school or Blundell specifically.
That's a really good question, actually, and I think you will see as a prospective parent, you are going to see brochures and videos and lots of shiny things, and they will look great. And many of the British boarding schools are really fantastic. I think there's no replacement for visiting, and in that gut feeling, you will look at how pupils interact with each other, how they move around the school, how staff interact with pupils, and you'll gain a very distinct feel for the school. And that, I believe, is very, very different between the different schools. And so I would strongly advise a visit. Go visit some different schools and see what you think, see how you feel.
Great, I think that's great advice. People tend to focus on, what tests I need to take, what's the best school and all this, but I think you get a very strong sense of, what you're aiming for if you just go and actually see it and meet people.
We have a broad range of pupils in our school deliberately. The top end will go to Oxford and Cambridge. The top Indian students go to Brown University and Dartmouth University, places like that. But we have a range. It's a very normal, normalizing factor. So you haven't got just a narrow, just concept. We believe in educating the whole person. We have a lot of personal social health education and social responsibility where we're involved with the local community, and they go down to the old people's homes. We have young children who come up to the school from states, primary schools. We believe in actually educating the whole person, not just for academic success. And I think that's part of what makes it such a sort of friendly and people's. But parents, I've been doing it for 25 years, and parents always going around school. They say, children look really happy at your school. They're just sort of laughing and chatting, and there's this 5 minutes walking time between each lesson where you can chill out and chat with your friends. So I think, we have a lovely school.
Wonderful. Thank you for coming and for spending time sharing information about your school with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.